Fife Property Market Update. This is where we do a roundup of what was happening last week in Fife. All agencies that use Rightmove will then look at what we were doing in particular as an agency, so you can see what we have accepted offers on, what we have coming soon, and then also what has completed and gone through that conveyancing process so that you can understand what offers have been accepted and obviously what buyers are looking for and what is really popular just now. So this gives you a great insight. Then we'll do a run through of the shows that have taken place to give you an idea of what to go back and rewatch and take some brilliant information from. So in terms of last week, then we will start with the statistics. Now, if you are new to this show, then feel free to comment, ask any questions. If you're a regular, then obviously welcome back, and there's probably going to be a couple of things that you'll know I like to say, and I'll often repeat, but it's just to make sure you really are getting a clear message and you really do understand what is happening in the Fife property market. But as I say, we'll start with the figures of last week. Now, what I will say is, on last week's show, I did a roundup of not only the week, but also the whole month of September, because we always do say 1 week does not make a trend. While it gives us an insight, it doesn't give us a true reflection. It's really great to see the nitty and gritty of the monthly statistics to get a real insight into how the market is actually performing, especially because we do break it down into micro regions, as you can see just here. So certainly if you are keen in the Fife property market, whether you are buying, whether you are selling, or you just have a genuine interest, then certainly go back and watch last week's show because you had a whole roundup for the month of September. So last week then, so this is where we will look at everything that was new instruction. So this was new and hit the market last week versus what is now showing as sold, subject to concluded missive. So they have now accepted an offer. And this is for the week commencing the 5th to the 11th. So you can see we've got all different micro regions. Now there was 12 properties that hit the market in the KY 1415 postcode, which is a strong number to be in the double figures. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. There's real swings and roundabouts with the Cooper properties and what's new instructions. But 9 properties selling is a really good number to have, obviously, those over the line. And as I say, we will give you an insight into what we have sold. East Nuke, 6 instructions, which is a strong number of instructions. Very rarely do we see East Nuke hitting the double figures for new instructions. So 6 is about average. But as I say, 1 week doesn't make a trend, but that is a kind of average. However, what isn't normal for the East Nuke is to have only had 1 property accepted an offer. So that is all agencies that have a property within the KY10 postcode. Just now, there was only 1 offer accepted in the East Nuke, which is actually really low. But it's nothing to be alarmed about. As I say, I could say it until I'm blue in the face. 1 week does not make a trend, but it is obviously something we will keep an eye on, absolutely, obviously, as the weeks and months continue. But it certainly is good to go back and look at the figures for the month. And actually last week I did a quick intro, like a brief for you on the East Nuke page, like a quick 1-minute short video and giving you an insight for the September month and the August month. So also go and have a wee look for that video because that's really informative. St Andrews 5 versus 8. 5 is slightly less than what St Andrews have been instructing, and 8 is actually an average number of what we've been seeing. Sometimes, again, a bit like Cooper, it'll trickle into the double figures, and some week it just doesn't. St Andrews is a slower market, and again, if you are regulars to these shows or you do kind of keep an eye on the market, you will understand that St Andrews is a longer selling time. You certainly need to have some patience while also having a proactive agency that knows the market, has the reach in the audience, and is aggressive in that marketplace and really showcases your property to its full potential and gets it seen by buyers out there, because we have had some fantastic results. Leavenmouth 12 versus 16. So 12 properties hit the market versus 16 properties selling. Now, with this, if you are looking at this and wondering, well, for example, Leavenmouth, how can 16 properties sell but only 12 hit the market? It doesn't mean to say that those 12 hit the market with the 12 that sold last week. Obviously, remember the stock that's the week prior, the month prior. So it doesn't mean to say it's that specific stock. It could be other stock as well, but 16 properties had offers accepted. And actually, when we get to the stage of disclosing what we have had offers accepted on, you will see that actually we contributed a brilliant amount to that number. So I'm keen to tell you all about that. Dunfermline 52 versus 54. Dunfermline is always naturally higher. That is always the case due to its proximity to the bigger cities. So people naturally tend to gravitate towards the Dunfermline area because they can still do the commute either via train or obviously over the bridge, and they get a lot more property for the money being this side, and also a different lifestyle as well. So it is always a popular area, and the numbers always reflect that. Glenrothes 8 versus 11. Now, actually, looking at Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy, the numbers are actually a wee bit skew for last week. That's not what we tend to see. To only have 8 instructions in Glenrothes is low. They're always in double figures. Likewise, only 11 having offers accepted is quite low as well. Now, whether that is obviously a reflection on the fact that only 8 were instructed and obviously 11 sold. While I said it doesn't always mean to say that those are the ones that have sold within that week. Normally within Glenrothes and also Kirkcaldy, when something hits the market at a good price point, because there's so much on offer in Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy and they appeal to a lot of the market, there's a lot of areas where there's great affordability for either investors, landlords, first-time buyers, families looking to upsize. There's all the different areas within those towns that people again gravitate towards. So anything that kind of hits the market does tend to get snapped up. So whether it's just that 1 week, obviously where there was less instructed in Glenrothes, also then had effect on what was offer accepted because there was nothing that obviously got snapped up immediately. But 32 instructed in Kirkcaldy is a high number. So obviously there was a lot happening within the Kirkcaldy KY1 postcode last week, and 19 properties selling. Now this is your resale homes only. This does not include your new builds. However, what I will say for the new builds, there was 3 new builds in St Andrews that hit the market last week. Likewise, there was 5 new builds that hit the market within Dunfermline. Now, with new builds, we'll never be able to kind of dig and find the information of when they've had an offer accepted. But what we can see is properties that have hit the market. But that is your roundup of last week. Now, as always, if you are keen to get a better understanding, whether you're just curious or whether you are on the market, whether you're looking to buy within one of those areas, or even perhaps you are actively looking to sell your property, while that's just a brief overview, we'd be more than happy to actually come out, meet with you, give you your accurate valuation, and actually discuss what your market is like, and especially obviously within your surrounding area, what our next steps would look like to get you results like what I'm about to tell you. Because when I say that we had a fantastic result in the Levenmouth area and we contributed to that 16, you will see why in just a second, because there's been some fantastic results. So if you are looking to sell and get moved, then please do reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to help. And especially, and this is what we're trying to educate on, especially if you're sitting here and you're thinking, now's not the right time to sell, I'm just going to put it off till spring. Absolutely not. Speak to us and we can give you a really in-depth kind of knowledge of why. If you wait till spring, you're potentially putting yourself at risk of being in a market where there's a lot more competition. Actually, we did a show, Perry, Jim and I, on the autumn season and actually how it's underrated. And this is actually a brilliant time to sell. You've still got days where the weather is great. Granted, obviously not yesterday or today, but last week, for example, it was still some brilliant days, so we can still really capture your property in such a great light and really showcase it. But what we're doing is we're entering a market where actually there's less competition. And that is a massive advantage to you, because what tends to happen is when there's a lot less competition, people, one, know they need to act fast because they know that there's potentially a lot more people going for only that one property that's available. Likewise, they have to put their best foot forward because they know that there is obviously other competition and they might get pipped to the post. So that is why now is a great time to sell, mainly because there is less competition, but also you need to factor in what, yes, you can hit the market, but actually how long is that sale process? How long, depending on what area you're in, is it going to take us to find your buyer? And then also take into account your conveyancing. So actually, if you're wanting to be moved in summer next year, hitting the market at spring is actually not a wise choice to do. If you want to be moving in the spring, summer, you actually need to be getting your ducks in a row and obviously getting your property value just now, and actually starting the process of getting your market online. Because if you're perhaps in the East Nook, average selling time is 2 to 3 months. If you think now we are nearly halfway through October, which is absolutely scary, if you then think as well that there be that period over the festivities where solicitors, for example, and conveyancing, that kind of slows down. So that would obviously then eat into your time scale. So actually 2 to 3 months that you're on the market in the East Nook, say, and then your average conveyancing time, depending on who your buyer is, and then even more so if you're in St Andrews and your average selling time is 5 to 6 months, what does that look like? So actually, if If you're wanting to get moved in spring, summer, you need to work back the way and actually work out when your starting point is. But that's what we are to do. That is why you need a local agent that knows the different micro regions, knows the area, and can guide you through that process. So certainly if you are actively looking to move, whether it be now or you think you need to wait until spring, summer next year, please reach out to us and we can give you some brilliant information and help you understand what next steps look like. But that was the figures for last week. As I say, please do, if you are keen on this, go back and watch last week's show because I did the September roundup. So do go back and watch that. But now we're going to discuss what we were doing in particular as an agency. So this is properties that we have accepted offers on. And as I say, there's been some fantastic results by the team, whether it be sold in a couple of days, sold from social media, sold in 9 days. There's some fantastic results, all different price point, property styles as well. So this gives you a really good insight. So let's start with the first one. Now, the first one, as you can see just there, it was in Leven. So this is Centenary Court, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-reception, mid-terrace property. This particular one was actually extended. It is a sought-after area. Again, as I was just disclosing with the figures, it is an area that has great affordability, still has its amenities, schooling, commuting links, and it's an area that does appeal to first-time buyers, landlords, investors, people looking to upsize, young families, couples. It really does appeal to a lot of the market. And that is exactly why the new buyer of this property is delighted that they've been able to snap it up. And actually, it was on the market for offers over 93,000. Likewise, the seller is delighted that we obviously secured them a buyer. So that's your first one. So remember that 16 properties sold within Levermouth. So 16 properties via all the agencies that advertise in the K-Riot postcode. That's our first Leven one. Then we will move to the next one. So your next one was on Coldstream Avenue. Straight away, you can see there, sold in 6 days, which is a fantastic result. So this is your second Levermouth one that we've sold. Now, this particular one was a 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. You've got off-street parking, you've got landscape gardens, you've got a garage. You can see you're on a fantastic corner plot as well. It's Coldstream Avenue. Anything with Coldstream, we know it's desirable, absolutely. So the new buyer is delighted that they've been able to get into that sought-after area, and also the downsizing, but also they're not compromising either because you're still getting so much space with this property, which is absolutely fantastic. Likewise, the sellers are delighted because we have got them a result in 6 days. We have secured them a buyer in 6 days, and it was on for offers over 200,000. While we can't at this stage disclose what offers have been accepted because we need to allow it to go through that conveyancing stage, you can see that not only have they accepted an offer, but they got it in 6 days, which they're absolutely delighted with. So you just need to keep looking out for these shows so you can see what offers have been accepted when we come to the completed stage. Next one then is a slightly different area, just for a little change, but this one is Mukti. No, this one was a stunning property. It was a popular one because it has gorgeous features. Now, looking at this, it's not the house like it's not the whole building. It was a 3-bedroom ground floor apartment. So they had this whole bottom level here, including this little extension at the side. Now, what this is a beautiful period property. And actually, you might be thinking, okay, this is a flat, but actually this entire garden that you can see and garden beyond that you can't see was all purely for the bottom apartment. So yes, you were getting all of this space because it's a big floor area, but actually all of this garden, and there's a whole nother section to the back of that, purely private for that flat, including you can just see at the edge here, this Dutch barn. This is also a driveway here, so off-street parking. So honestly, you were getting a massive floor area, almost the size of a house, or bigger actually than some, and actually the outdoor space to match that, which was fantastic. It's Mukti. Again, it's a desirable area because you are getting that village lifestyle with stunning walks, but you still have your local primary school. You've got the large co-op for convenience items. You've got so many different things. And then your commuting links, you can obviously head to Markinch, Ladybank, Cooper for a train station. You head the opposite direction. You've got the M90 to get to Perth, Dundee, Edinburgh. So it's honestly a fantastic location. And that property was gorgeous with some amazing features throughout. So there's no doubt that got snapped up in 9 days. So the buyer is absolutely delighted that they've obviously been able to secure that. Likewise, the sellers are delighted. This one was on the market for offers over 190,000. While we can't disclose obviously what was accepted, it was a good result, but also in 9 days. So both parties are happy. Likewise, we are, because again, we're helping somebody move on with their journey, which is just fantastic. So that was in Mukti. However, we're going to head back to Leven, to the KY area. So again, we're contributing to that 16 that was sold. And this one was Pentland View in Kennerwing. This particular one was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom detached property. So a cracking family home in moving condition, really spacious. It's got extensive gardens. You can see it's got the driveway and it's got the garage, and it's situated in a desirable cul-de-sac. Again, with Kennerway, you've got your local amenities, you've got your schooling, and obviously now you have the Cameron Bridge train station as well. I say now, I mean, it has been over a year, but still we're seeing such a positive impact from that, obviously that investment that was put into the area, and that's why the results continue to be fantastic in the Leven Mouth. And this one, as you can see there, if you're maybe looking at this and wondering, what does sold from social media mean? What that means is Perry went out. Once the home report was done, Perry did her pre-portal video. She would then put that onto social media, and the buyer that has now got this property reached out at that stage. They acted fast, and that is the key here. When you see that social media video, you need to act fast. Watch the full video to the end, and then look for that price point. If it does tick all your boxes, reach out, whether it be you message, whether it be you call, but get yourself in touch with the office quick. We can then get you that viewing. We will qualify you, get you that viewing, and if you can make an offer that the seller cannot refuse before it does go to your Rightmove, your Zoopla, and your S1 Homes, then you could potentially secure that property, just like this one was done. So actually, this had an offer accepted before it hit the bigger portals, and that is the key here. What's even better is this property was actually previously on with another agent, didn't sell, came off for a little bit. We've managed to hit the market, and we've got it sold before it even actually had to go back onto Rightmove and Zoopla and S1 Homes. So actually, it's the impact from the social media, and that's what we do differently. It's about being aggressive in the marketplace and being proactive and actually pushing your property to its full potential. And that is exactly what was done with Perry's pre-portal, and we got this sold at social media, which is a fantastic result for the team. Likewise, the seller is delighted, because naturally you would enter back into this thinking, oh, well, I've already had it on the market, it didn't sell. What is it going to look like? But actually, they made that investment. They invested obviously into Perry and obviously getting the property sold, and they are delighted. Likewise, the buyer is delighted as well, because they've obviously secured this ideal family home. So that is also, not only am I telling you what is sold, but that gives you an insight into one, our marketing and our strategy, but also what pre-portals are, because actually we're next going to come to coming soons. So at least now you know what that means. But our final Leven one, again, another KY postcode sale, is on Anderson Street in Leven. Now, this particular one was a spacious 2-bedroom masonette in moving condition with some amazing original features, sought after location, because you are literally just a short walk and you're at the retail park, train station, leisure facilities, high street. Such a great location. And as I say, it's a 2-bedroom spacious masonette, and it was on for offers over 95,000. So that was great to get that one over the line as well. So actually, some fantastic results in the KY postcode, and it just shows you, when you choose the right agent that's a local expert with the right marketing strategy, you can get results like that. So based on that, then we can now move on to coming soons. So this is properties that we have been out and valued, Perry and I, and are coming to market with ourselves. So this is where you need to keep a lookout on social media. So I've just told you what a pre-portal is. It's that full video walkthrough showing you in such detail with the price point that we predict it to come to. Goes on social media. If it ticks all your boxes, reach out to us, get in touch, because we could potentially get you in there before everybody else. And if you make an offer that the seller almost bites your hand off and just can't refuse, that property could be yours. Now, if you want more information on that, or you want to discuss it in a bit more detail, you have questions, or you want to be guided on what's actually the right thing to do, reach out, call the team, and we'll be more than happy to do that. And also, when you speak with the team, get them to register you so that we can do our due diligence, get you matched on the system. So it means you are not going to miss out on any properties. But coming soon. So let's do a run through. There is quite a couple. Any questions, put them in the comments. Even if you're not watching this live, absolutely do that. But the first one is Main Street in New Gilston. This one's stunning. It is a brand new build. It is a 4-bedroom detached property. It's set back from the road, so it's not on the main road, while it is obviously Main Street, and it's that one main road that runs through. It is set back, which is fantastic, which also means you've got stunning views from the rear. You've got these patio doors in your open plan kitchen dining space, which give you views, stunning countryside views, 4-bedroom detached. Wait until you see the size of it. It's an absolutely massive property. It's fantastic for a family home. While obviously, yes, it's New Gilston, you're getting that village lifestyle. It's almost semi-rural. You're still so close to so many amenities with just a short drive. So it really is a great lifestyle, but wait until you see just how fantastic this property is. I'm looking forward to doing this pre-portal. It's also got landscape gardens. It's got a driveway. It's got a garage. 4 bedrooms, en suites. There's plenty of storage as well, because often people think, oh, new builds, they don't tend to have storage. There's not a lot of floor space. This living room it's enormous. It's fantastic. And then you have a kitchen dining space, which is amazing. And then you've got a family bathroom, you've got a utility, you've got a master bedroom, you've got 3 other bedrooms. So it really is a fantastic family home. So do keep a lookout on the leaving page. I will be doing the pre-portal for that one tomorrow, so you don't have to wait long. Next one is Malt Row in Pitlessie. This is another village lifestyle. So we've actually got quite a lot of that just now. We've got a lot of cottages in the villages lifestyles, which I have to be honest are my absolute favourite. I absolutely love a cottage in that village lifestyle because they have so much charm and character about them. And this one is in Pitlessie. So again, it's a slightly different, obviously, location, but it's still that village lifestyle. We know Pitlessie. It's on that main bus route as well, so great for commuting. It has the little the Village Inn, which is a fantastic restaurant. Pitlessie has the primary school. So you still have plenty of amenities close by while getting a fantastic setting. And this particular one is a 4-bedroom detached property. So again, a cracking family home. Then we actually have Main Street, and this is Anne Croach. And actually, the pre-portal has already been on for this one. Perry did the pre-portal yesterday, I believe. So you should already be able to see that one. So definitely go and have a look on the eSnook page for that one. And this one is a 3-bedroom bungalow. So definitely go back and look. And actually, it's great because we sold this to the current owners. So actually, it's almost like we're keeping it within the family, you could say, because we're back there reselling it. So it's actually great to see how it's come on in that time. But we've got such good history and knowledge of the property. It's stunning. So definitely go and watch that one already. Next one is Maple Gardens in Methil. It's a 3-bedroom semi-detached. This is going to be a popular one. It's Maple Gardens. It's an area where, again, it appeals to first-time buyers because we know it's going to be an affordable price point. Investors, landlords, upsizing families, downsizing perhaps. So keep a lookout for Perry's pre-portal of that one. Then you have Meadow Park in Kenway. This is a 2-bedroom detached bungalow. That honestly, even that is all I need to say about it because you know it's going to be popular. It is a bungalow, which I like hen's teeth. It's 2 bedrooms, so it's a good size, and it's in Kenway, which is even better. So actually, that is obviously going to be a popular one. So look out for Perry's pre-portal of that one and make sure you act fast because we know that these get snapped up. Next one is Fernhill Windygates. Again, a family home, which is fantastic. So there's plenty of choice out there if you are looking for your next family home. This is, as I say, Fernhill Windygates, and it's a 4-bedroom detached house. So again, you don't have to wait long. I believe Perry is doing the pre-portal for that one very soon. So keep a look out on our Leave and Mouth page. And then our final coming soon is in Dunfermline, actually. So this is Kestrel Way. Now, again, the pre-portal has already been done for this one, so go and look on the Dunfermline page. It's a 2-bedroom first floor flat. Again, Dunfermline, it is a sought-after area, so I will not be surprised if that gets snapped up. Especially being that 2-bed first floor flat, it's going to appeal to a lot of the market while being in a desirable area. So definitely go and have a look at that if you are looking for a move in Dunfermline. So that is what we have coming soon. If you want to discuss that in any further detail, then please do reach out, whether it be message on this show, even if you're not watching it live, or if you want to message us privately, do that, or even just pick up the phone and have a chat with somebody in the office. We would love to hear from you. And then finally, we'll do a run through of what's completed to give you an insight into what offers are being accepted, what buyers are out there, and also obviously what different locations have sold. So again, taking it back to KY8, actually for both of our completed. So there's a lot of activity in Levermouth, and I say that week on, week out. And this just shows you, this is just the facts. So this was Mance Place in Leven. It was a 2-bedroom upper apartment right in the heart of Leven, sought after area, walking distance to all of your amenities, and it sold for 78,000. Buyers delighted that we're able to snap that up. Fantastic location with everything on their doorstep. And then our next completed was Poppy Grove in Leven. Now, this particular one was a 2-bedroom mid-terrace property, Poppy Grove. It's desirable. It's obviously across from Diageo, so it's in that kind of still a newer development. Fantastic location, finished to a really high standard, off-street parking, enclosed rear garden, and it got 5,000 over home report, which is a fantastic result for the sellers, and it sold for 165,000. Buyers delighted that they were able to secure their next property. Obviously, they paid 5,000 over, so they were able to secure it, but still, it is a good, affordable price range for your average price in the KY area. But sellers delighted that they're now moved on with their journey. So that is what we have completed. Now, before we round up, we'll do a run through of the shows that have taken place, so you know what to go back and rewatch. So, as always, you have the Wealth Creation Show on a Monday with Jim Pack, one of the UK's most successful property investors, and Richard Cook, the lettings director. They go live every Monday and they do a new wealth creation topic. And yesterday's one was maximum impact. Growth obviously requires failure. In anybody's journey, there will most likely, at one point or time, something or someone holding you back. We may find ourselves perhaps hiding away and not pushing those boundaries, or even putting ourselves out there enough. Adopting a continuous learning and educational path without letting too many distractions or almost shiny pennies, bless me, shiny pennies distract you from your goals, it can actually be prolific to your success. Do you take time to actually have breaks? Take a step back. Also have some thinking time and allow yourself to breathe, and try not being all to everyone all at one time while also forgetting about yourself. Now, if this sounds like something that would appeal to you, or perhaps you've had experience of this, or perhaps you're going through this, reach out. Yes, it was live yesterday, but you can still go and watch it, and you can still comment and ask questions, and they absolutely will come back to you. But that was a fantastic one. Next one is a show that Perry and I did, and it was about 5 first-time buyers and how the media and the almost scaremongering and perhaps even family and friends noise in your ears is saying that it's tough, but perhaps it's not as tough as you think. Yes, the newspaper headlines say that, but actually, we need to really drill down into the nitty-gritty and the facts, and that's exactly what Perry and I did. We pulled statistics, we pulled facts and figures so that we could give you an actual true reflection on what it is like for first-time buyers within Fife. So certainly go back and watch that one. And then finally, there was a one for landlords out there, or perhaps somebody who is looking to start their journey of being a landlord. And it's actually about the perfect check-in, and you can have a foolproof process for every landlord. A new tenancy is a major milestone, of course, in the relationship between you and your new tenant. Yet so many check-ins fail to take advantage of the opportunity. So again, you've got Richard Cook, the lettings director, and letting agent Karen Marshall discussing how successful check-ins are more than just your traditional kind of tick box checklist. It's your chance to almost set the tone for that kind of journey and obviously your relationship for the entirety of that tenancy, with you as a trusty landlord and your tenants as conscious caretakers. Likewise, if you've got any of your own case studies with that, or if you're needing a bit of guidance, put the questions on there or message in, and they would be more than happy, either of them, to obviously chat with you. But that is us for another Fife property market update. If there is anything at all, you know that you can reach out to us. But failing that, we will see you next week live again at 10 o'clock on Tuesday to do another update. All the best. Take care.